Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're doing something really exciting. We're breaking down a complete course video on the art of talent identification. We're going to dive deep into the fascinating evolution of scouting, moving way beyond that traditional touchline eye test to uncover exactly how modern football discovers its future stars. So, if you've ever wondered how the top clubs manage to consistently find those diamonds in the rough, well, you're in exactly the right place.
All right, let's kick things off with a pretty powerful quote from FIFA high-performance specialist Richard Allen, which perfectly sets the stage for what we're looking at today. He says, "Talent ID today is more than watching the game. It's reading between the lines. It's where data, mindset, and trusted insight meet to spot future greatness." I just love that phrasing. It's not just about what happens on the grass anymore. It's that exact intersection where hard data, psychology, and deep trust collide.
So, that really begs the question at the very heart of this explainer, right? How do you actually spot future greatness? In a game that's constantly shifting at lightning speed, how do you separate the true game changers from all the noise without just falling back on a scout's traditional gut feeling? To get to the bottom of that, we're going to follow a 6-part roadmap today. The modern scouting evolution, decoding the performance data, identifying elite psychological behaviors, building a collaborative network, learning from other sports, and finally, balancing art and science. Let's get right into it.
Section 1. The modern scouting evolution, moving beyond instinct.
Listen, the core problem with the old-school way of scouting is the heavy reliance on gut feeling and single-match observation. That's why modern talent ID is defined as this really powerful blended approach. You take data analytics, you add in psychological profiling, you mix in cross-disciplinary learning and professional networks, and you use all of that to support and sharpen human judgment. It's not about replacing the scout at all. It's about giving them superpowers.
Moving right along to Section 2. Decoding the performance data and making sense of the noise.
So how do we actually use analytics as a decision-making tool without just completely drowning in a sea of numbers? It's kind of the ultimate data dilemma. Think about it. With a single match observation, a striker might look absolutely incredible today, scoring an absolute screamer, but their long-term data reveals a super low expected goals, or XG involvement. On the flip side, longitudinal tracking might reveal a player who's totally overlooked in person but consistently dominates transition metrics over 10 whole matches. Data basically stops us from being fooled by one lucky afternoon.
Because of that, your data literally has to be structured. You can't just stare at a massive spreadsheet hoping for an epiphany. You need to define specific key performance indicators, or KPIs, for each position and age group. We're talking things like box entries for your midfielders, or first contacts in the box for forwards. Doing this effectively narrows down the player pool and gives your human scouts a much sharper lens to look through.
Which brings us to Section 3, identifying elite psychological behaviors, or the mindset factor.
Here's the thing though, data only tells part of the story. Having great technical skills simply isn't enough anymore. True elite talent requires something way deeper. It requires serious resilience. The ability to bounce back from those really tough moments. It requires an immense personal drive to train hard every single day. And crucially, it's about staying calm under intense pressure, keeping your focus when the game is completely slipping away, and stepping up as a leader to lift everyone else up. Those are the intangibles that actually make a star.
Okay, but how do you actually measure those intangibles? You can't just put a GPS tracker on a player's leadership skills, right? So scouts need a really structured approach. Step 1, you use psychological profiling tools and conduct deep coach interviews. Step 2, you observe players in vastly different emotional states, like how do they react when they're suddenly losing 3-0? And Step 3, you assess their communication and preparation rituals over time. It's an ongoing behavioral evaluation.
All right, on to Section 4, building a collaborative network, all about people and insights.
Even with all the brilliant data and cutting-edge profiling in the world, scouting is still fundamentally a people business. Your decision-making engine is fueled by a wide circle: regional scouts, youth academy coaches, school and community club contacts, and local agents. These are the folks who see the players day in and day out. And the real trick here is to involve these contacts super early in the process, not just when you're suddenly desperate for a signing window.
And the secret sauce to actually unlocking hidden gems through these networks? It's moving way beyond simple transactional updates. You can't just call them up out of the blue and demand, hey, who's good right now? You have to cultivate genuine long-term trust. How? By offering real value back to them. Invite them to training sessions, host feedback reviews, keep that communication going year-round. Once you build that deep trust, they're going to bring the game changers directly to you. This leads us right into Section 5, learning from other sports and the cross-pollination of ideas.
Let's actually step completely outside the football bubble for a second here, because there is a massive competitive advantage waiting for you if you borrow evaluation strategies from other arenas. Look at cricket. They use a multiple eyes, multiple times model, meaning several different scouts assess players over time to heavily reduce individual bias. Or corporate HR, right? Football can totally adapt their structured interviews and performance simulations for youth trials. And from basketball, the use of spatial data and pattern recognition is just unbelievable for evaluating a football player's off-ball movement. Innovation usually comes from looking at what everyone else is doing.
And finally, Section 6, balancing art and science, the grand synthesis. This all builds up to what is essentially our climax, bringing the highly subjective art of scouting together with the completely objective science of data. Because let's be real, an algorithm, no matter how advanced it is, cannot see a player's body language when they get benched. A spreadsheet has no idea what kind of supportive communication a captain gives to a young teammate right after they make a critical mistake. That is exactly where human experience, empathy, and scout intuition remain absolutely irreplaceable.
So, putting it all together, here is your ultimate 3-step formula for a 360-degree analysis in modern talent identification. Step 1, you use the data to narrow the pool and identify the big patterns. Step 2, you use your human eyes. Watch live matches, watch the video footage to really assess behavior, anticipation, and leadership. And step 3, combine those detailed human scouting reports with your cold, hard data dashboards to get a truly complete panoramic view.
Now I want to turn this over to you. I want you to actively think about your own processes. Here are some real, concrete action steps straight from the complete course video to help audit your methods. First off, audit your current process. Are you leaning way too hard on instinct or maybe a bit too hard on data? Second, pinpoint 3 specific elite behaviors to look for in every single trial moving forward. Third, make it a goal to expand your scouting network with at least 5 new, highly reliable contacts this season. And finally, challenge yourself to host a learning session with someone completely outside of the football world.
Because at the end of the day, elite talent doesn't just cap you on the shoulder and reveal itself. They aren't just waiting around to be found. They are actively uncovered by the people who know how to perfectly balance modern analytical tools with classic human vision. It's all about merging science with intuition and analytics with trust. That is how you're going to spot the true game changers of tomorrow.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a really critical question to chew on regarding your own talent evaluation practices. How do you currently balance data and instinct when you're evaluating talent? Are you missing the story the numbers are desperately trying to tell you? Or are you missing the very human element standing right in front of your eyes? Think about it, apply these frameworks, and go find that next superstar.